All right, give me a second. I'm on my phone currently because I was also doing some things off of there. But it's been a minute, everybody.
Don't worry, he's just taking the short bus ride from school. Wait, what?
I'm trying to fit. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Is this it? Small, but you know what? Fuck it. We'll go with that. Hello, everybody. I'll work with that for right now.
Yeah.
Of course, welcome to the and I forgot to share this, man. I am like my day today was fucking wild. I of course went to had to do some stuff before. It's why the show for the next 2 weeks is going to be preempted.
Mm-hmm.
But unlike AEW, we're going to have some good content. What's up, Mr. Beauregard? Hello, Brandon. Hello.
Well, at least they don't have a deal with Saudi Arabia. There's that.
Oh shit, Joe! I forgot. That was going to be the breaking news of today. That I in fact have sold this show to Saudi Arabia for about $2.9 billion. This is before you signed on the show, Jordan. It just got finalized, so unfortunately, you did not get a cut of that revenue. Sorry.
Anyway. So you get blood money and I don't. That's good. I mean, at least I have a conscience.
Yes, but you have to be on still, so you have to. So
yeah, you get a cut while they still allow the execution of gay people and or other Christian religions and probably Serbians too if they have.
We have to rename the show and retitle it called Sweet Saudi Outcast. Yeah, so that's
or the Arabian Outcast.
Yeah, one or the other. We're still working with ideas. But yes. Before I go into any more, I am of course your host, one of the two main co-hosts, of course, the House of Chayton, and next to me is the ever so unorific JMANzlegit.
Unorific. I gotta write that one down. Anyway, by the way, I'm not gonna lie. This is well, hold on. It's about the show. Hold on a second. And give it a second. There we go. I mean, that guy looks so familiar, and yet that tile design, I mean, that's something AEW should have kept. I mean, they could have kept that particular title design for over 10 years, probably longer than any other world title design WWE's ever kept, except for that winged eagle.
That is a sick new intro. It sucks. It's only going to be for 3 episodes. Before we get into the main point of this episode,
I think the last part should stay, but that's just my opinion.
The last part?
Yeah, the one with me in it with the holding the AEW title before.
Oh no! I'm keeping this is going to be the permanent intro, unless I have to fire your ass for walking down the street naked. Oh wait, no, actually I can't. You wouldn't be fired for that.
Actually, that would be an Australian that would be doing that.
Well, even so, if you walk down the street butt ass naked, I wouldn't fire you.
You know, there's a game called Willy Willy Tag, right?
Oh yeah. I heard you're really good at that.
No, that's not me. That's the other guy.
Oh,
but that's a thing in Australia, though, from what I heard.
But yes, for anybody who missed my Gaming with the Devil, which of course is not the most viewed stream on this channel. I'm referring to the House of Chayton. However, Short's been killing as of late, so I thank all the new subscribers I've hit in. Maybe I missed it. We are going to be taking this show into a season format. The only other person I know who has done this was Paige with Live and Uncut.
Yes.
And I, due to my work schedule being very hectic, as well as, of course, I have Dragon coming down here next month. Also, I'm going to have to ask him if he could be on in 2 weeks, because I will give out the Hall of Che award, because Dragon will be. Yes, I was trying to figure out a unique award or name for it so it could be unique to me, not anything like that. I need to make a thumbnail.
Would him being in there have something to do with our first encounter with him all those years ago?
Yes, actually, he's nominated twice, or he's inducted twice. He's inducted as the first inductee as just a person, and then a moment.
Oh,
And
just like with Austin and Bret Hart, they're inducted in the Hall of
yes,
Fame
so
separately.
every
but
year,
for some reason, their match is inducted, but yet it's not a person, place, or thing. Or actually, it is a thing because it was on an event.
and if I forgot to say it earlier, hello, William. How are you doing? Now,
Yes, it is October, Chayton's favorite month, Emotional Zombies' favorite month. And not gonna lie, a lot of little kids' favorite month, unless they want to get sick in one night eating too much candy.
yes. Now, regarding the Outcast, so we're going to be doing this for 3 more weeks, and then we're going to be basically on break until May of next year.
Yeah.
Reason why I'm doing this, basically from this month going, and this month is not as busy, but from this month on to basically the springtime, it's going to be hella busy. It's going to be busy even in the summertime, but that I can manage. But this time period is going to be very busy for me. Like I work events, so like basketball season's getting back into swing, shit like that. And also with stuff, by the way, Dragon, with certain things going on with like, you know, with stuff with Jordan and his decisions regarding certain his
By
stream
the
art
way,
stuff.
Dragon.
I
Well,
thought it would be, I'm not going to go into detail what those things are. Jordan has made a stream regarding that. But I
yeah,
thought,
if you haven't seen it, go ahead and watch it. I mean, I don't have to repeat myself.
yeah, I thought it would be best to do a season by season thing. So what we'll do is we'll come back in May of next year, and we'll be doing an episode every 2 weeks. We'll be going back to the 3 hour format. Due to it being every 2 weeks, I feel like we got that 1 week to where we could just breathe. It also gives us time to think of new things to do. Yes, they're going to be in Austin, I believe, in March as well. So I'm going to try to see if my
And,
woman wants to go.
And there's also like with me, like both like whether it's mentally, emotionally, and all the other stuff that I go through. It's also to make sure that I don't get too burned out because I mean, no disrespect towards Victor, but when it came down to doing 2 podcasts all in one week, it was like kind of stressing. And I think Chayton knows my history better than anyone else. Like, I'm the kind of person that might get burned out if I'm in way too many shows as it is. And
well, and plus you're doing, back then you were doing like, well, you were doing Popcorn Panel. You'd occasionally make appearances on the Outcast.
yes,
You would.
There was
Rant and Rave, chilling with Jordy. You started your Uno streams.
Yeah,
so,
I was like, it's like Cloud 9, except it went from Cloud 10 to 100. So
that's like me. I was supposed to be on hiatus all of last month and most of the other month, but shit just kept happening, as it usually does on this fucking platform, it feels like.
Jayton, you never know when to back out of a fight, but then again, you just love jumping into it. Let's be real.
Oh yeah, I like getting into stuff and some like, but
it's you, man. I mean, I'm not gonna judge you. I'm just simply
there has to be merit into it. Because trust me, I could probably hop in. I could probably go and look up who's live at a particular time. Hey, let me jump in that and just fight with random people. No, I want to. If I gotta have a legit reason to fight with someone, like or some shit going on.
Well, yeah, there has to be. Otherwise, then what's the point?
Now give me a second. I'm gonna go onto my laptop.
Well, Dragon just asked a question, and by the way, that is a great new feature for StreamYard. And of course, I'm by myself. But either way, hello everybody. Welcome to the Hangman Outcast. Chapter 11. Oh wait,
What?
You switched.
Yes.
All right. So Dragon just asked. So Chayton, how do you switch between yourself and Jordy?
Oh,
maybe he just did. I don't know.
Yeah, what I do is I take a meteor and I hit myself over the head, so I get a big ass crater on my skull, and then after that, what do I do after that? I dumb myself down a little bit, and yeah, I think that's it. I think that's basically all I do.
Dumb yourself down a little bit.
Yeah, put a crate like have a meteor hit me in the skull, like to create a huge ass crater, and then I do all that, and yeah, dumb myself down. So it's pretty easy, you know. But never go full retard. You know that old saying.
Too late for that.
So,
Because
yeah.
you have gone full retard, just like I have. Oh wait, never mind.
Now,
All right. Also, F Microsoft for raising prices of Game Pass.
Yeah. Like it was funny. I made a comment. I've told my woman, I've thought about getting an Xbox One because I've been really wanting to go back and play.
Don't you mean an Xbox Series?
No, especially with them raising the price. There we go. Much better.
You mean like there have been? Oh, okay. I'm starting to understand what the issue is. Are there many consoles and or video games getting like their prices raised in like certain markets like supermarkets and all that stuff like Walmart, Best Buy, and probably Target?
Well, yeah, the Xbox Series have gone up either 100, 200, shit like that.
Shit, it wasn't that bad. They raised the prices too. Yeah, according to Chayton, apparently they have.
Yes, thank you, David, for sharing it there.
For the record, I mean, I bought Donkey Kong Bonanza. By the way, it is a fun ass game. I mean, if you ever get yourself a Switch 2, first game I recommend. I mean, other than The Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild, and or Tears of the Kingdom, get Donkey Kong Bonanza. It is the shit.
Yeah, like I still don't like there are thoughts of me wanting to still get a Switch 2, but like
I said when, not get it right away.
Well, not only that, but also because Resident Evil 9 Requiem is going to be on the Switch 2, and they're going to be releasing actual non-cloud, actual versions of fucking 7 and 8. And then I'm just waiting on them to release 2, 3, and 4 remakes, and then I'll be good. But in regards to Xbox, yeah, they raised the price for Game Pass. So now if you want the best version of Game Pass, you have to pay $30.
Damn. The Xbox X handheld is $1,000. That's what Emotional Zombie just said.
That's true too. And here's the thing.
Since when does Microsoft need handhelds?
Well, I like that they're doing handhelds, but for the price, no. I was going to say though with Xbox,
you want to know? You want a real handheld? Like you remember that link I shared you to that thing where you could play not just Nintendo like Game Boy games or Game Boy Color, but also I don't know if they do Game Boy Color, but if they did, that'd be awesome. But also their own custom made things. Like, dude, I mean, the price alone, $199 or $299. I mean, that's fine. I mean, but $1,000 for a handheld, like, get out of here.
Well, and here's the other thing too. Xbox has basically destroyed themselves because they've not only raised the prices for their consoles, which again, tariffs, I get it, but now with the Game Pass stuff, I don't agree with because they can't tariff digital. But at least not right now. But
wait, is that like a Minecraft but 2D?
What?
That game you just said tariff.
Tariff? You know, like what Donald Trump's been doing?
Oh!
Systems have gone up in price.
I thought that was a video game title. Never mind.
No. So but Xbox raised the price for their consoles when they are dead last in the console war. They've lost, but they're dead now. Their games.
Well, actually, when you think about it, Microsoft and Sony, they pretty much like you and me made peace.
Yes, but you also got to understand that
the only thing they have to worry about is Nintendo. And I saw something the other day called, the new console wars. It has Xbox's Anakin Skywalker and Sony PlayStation is Obi-Wan. And guess who's Nintendo Switch? Count Dooku. and you could probably remember that fight scene, how that goes down.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing also with this, okay? They've had to they had to do that with the partnership because they have no other options. They're raising the prices. The Game Pass, which is the only thing that made them like let's be fair here. The only thing that has kept Xbox alive throughout this entire console war after the Xbox One's release was the Game Pass model that Sony and Nintendo to an extent took from. Now they're more expensive than even PlayStation Plus Premium because PlayStation Plus Premium is like $20 a month. Game Pass for the Xbox. And here's my thing. Excuse me. It goes back to me saying to buy physical or digital games. More so physical. Because I can go to a CD exchange down, like, not far from where I live. And I can go there and I can get Gears of War Ultimate Edition. Excuse me.
That was actually a Sonic for Hire episode, Gears of War.
and Rare Replay for about, I think, $15 used.
Oh, Rare Replay. I think it has all the Rareware games except for Donkey Kong ones.
You get a great mature fucking third-person shooter, and you get a game. Now, granted, there's some mature games in Rare Replay, Conker's Bad Fur Day, but you get those two games for fucking $15.
Like, not only that, you get Banjo-Kazooie, Banjo-Tooie, and other games. But however, you cannot get the Donkey Kong ones like Donkey Kong Country or Donkey Kong 64.
That's the thing. Also, you keep those games on like, and not have to worry about paying the subscription every month. The worst you would have to do is fucking play. Like, well, I think Gears of War Ultimate Edition is online. I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. Like Halo, the Master Chief Collection. Probably get to find out somewhere.
Master Chief Collection. Speaking of that, that's how I got introduced to McJuggernuggets. That thing where Psycho Dad chainsaws Xbox One or axes Xbox One. And at the end after he destroys the thing, that's when Jesse screaming, "Master Chief Collection, Master Chief Collection." He's like, "No, Master Chief's Collection comes out in 1 hour, and I'm not going to be able to play."
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, with this whole thing,
what a fucking mark.
like the thing is with all this is that Xbox is fucked. I really
I agree.
I'll just have to wait until the Gears of War games gradually go on there, and the Halo Master Chief Collection and Starfield and whatever. Now, I will say this one last thing I'll say about the Outcast. We're coming back in May, but we are not. I do not have a date yet. I will probably not have a date until probably a month or two before the actual time comes. Second, again, we have this episode, the episode next week, which will also be at 10 p.m. I apologize, everybody, because the time is going to be a little weird for the next couple of weeks because we're going to go back to 7 p.m. Central Standard Time on the fucking thing.
I'll do that later, Dragon. I'm not going to do that much right now because I just wanted to get that quote out of the way because I figured you catch on. But this is getting to know your co-host, and that's me.
Yes. One last thing I wanted to say before we get into that, Jordan, did you hear that Andrade is back in AEW?
I figured as much and plus that does not surprise me. I'm assuming that's John Moxley's worst nightmare, from what I'm hearing.
He joined the Don Callis family.
Of course he did.
Yeah, so he's still able to get work and all that stuff.
Hey, I got no problem. Listen, the thing is with AEW, the only thing I disagree with is the fact that you have to have someone like Tony Khan who has to, own the company, but yet he's not like Vince McMahon. I mean, sure. I mean, he doesn't shit on other women's heads, but that's besides the point. What I mean is that look at the Young Bucks. They push him around so much, it's not even funny.
Yeah.
So if I were to work with a company that doesn't have wrestlers in power, I'm sorry, I'd go with WWE. But however, considering how blood money thirsty they are, I'd go with TNA. But still, I'm not going to stop a man from working. I mean, if he wants to go to AEW and work money, even though he won't get that much, like when it comes to titles or big match feels or storytelling, that's on him. I'm not going to judge.
Yeah. So and again, Bear him being there. Well, he could have went to TNA, and that could have been like, but like, funny enough, I would be like, yeah, he'll come to TNA. He'll beat Mike Santana after Bound for Glory because that's usually what they do. Is they basically hotshot the title to the new WWE guy. So that's why I'm
Speaking
like,
of Bound for Glory, by the way, I don't know if you know this, but let me check my calendar real quick because if I hope I get this right because I don't want to botch this up before we go with. Yes, apparently it's now 20 years officially when TNA made their Spike debut for Impact.
that, and also this month also marks the 20th anniversary since the very first Bound for Glory.
I think that will be October 23rd. That will be the 20th anniversary of the first Bound for Glory pay-per-view.
Yeah, that was where Rhino won the world title. He also won Monsters Ball.
Well, in order, he won Monsters Ball, he won the Gauntlet for the Gold, and then he won the world title, the NWA heavyweight title.
And that was a great Monsters Ball match. Was that the iconic was it the Swanton off the top of the stage?
The Swanton with Jeff on Abyss, I believe.
Yeah. Funny enough, also, fun fact, we are nearing the 20-year anniversary since Sting went back into wrestling because he was sporadic in like TNA beforehand, but like 06 was when he got back, like where he was basically there till basically recently, right? Like where he was in wrestling more in a full-time basis because again, we didn't see him in WWE. We didn't see him in like he made one-off appearances in TNA. So that's crazy. Now back to the whole thing.
He gave what was left of his full-time, like ability with TNA, even though again, I kind of think that he was better off in TNA than anywhere else because here's the thing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
TNA, in my view, is like the spiritual successor of WCW, even though it's not WCW, it's TNA.
Yeah, like TNA was like really, really. Oh wait, I forgot to tell her this. I don't know why I didn't.
You'd be surprised, Zombie. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean,
baby.
If the Hardys and Dudleys want to do this, I mean, like,
Demon Hunters are gonna be the characters gonna be on Fortnite. Okay, I'm not getting Fortnite though. Oh my god. Anyway,
that was funny. I'm not getting Fortnite. Do you know the Demon Hunter characters are gonna be a Fortnite? Although I'm not getting a Fortnite though.
Well, I like to fuck with her about that because she.
The bug lady, that sprays, areas for bugs, at my house. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, she actually is into Fortnite. I was like, listen, I'm not gonna judge you for playing it. It's just not my cup of tea,
Yeah, no, like it's like when I played it, was a year or two ago. It was better than when I first played it, probably in the first few years when it got popular. But it's still like if I want to play a battle royale type game, I'll stick with Warzone.
Dude, I just don't play it because I know there's going to be people online bitching and complaining about, like how they're going to report you for killing you in a certain different way, which is bullshit. And then you destroy their hamburger.
You then. You think that's bad? Fuck. Go back to the Xbox Live days in the early days of fucking like COD and Halo and shit like that.
I've been through that.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember. Okay, funny story. I kind of remember when someone I killed. Did you know I used to be a knifer?
Oh, okay.
Okay, so here's what.
So you like to get behind people. That's what you're saying. Okay.
No. I like to knife them like at any time. Like it's either like go at full speed running towards them, like with all the heavy, artillery I got. However, it was like either at one moment in time I knifed them, whether it's in the front or the back or anywhere at all. And get this. I remember this one time when I knifed someone and you could hear their reaction after you kill them, because that's the thing that happens if they wear their headsets. I remember when one of them was so angry, he was like, suck up, you dick fat. And I'm like, dude, I just killed you. I'm like, is that?
No, those were some of my, like, when I wasn't on fucking online.
They called me a British meatball because I killed.
Oh, and if anybody was wondering, yes, while I was tossing around was a dildo. I forgot it was over here because I showed it to Victor and Soren yesterday on the show, and so
Yeah, I'm
I
sure.
don't know.
I'm sure that's good product placement for you.
Yeah, I don't think if you show us around, I don't think it'll get like this video will get taken down, but we'll find out. Well, I just showed it, so we'll find out. Anyway, so yeah, so my point is that, so let's get into the whole thing with this, right? So of course, so we're doing.
Oh, Motion of the Zombie used to be a knifer too.
Yeah,
and you get death threats. Oh shit!
I remember when I would go by and fucking swipe people. Fucking ooh, just go like that.
Well, it's not my fault that they're easy to kill with a knife, attack. But
yeah, especially how you hit it. But so yeah, so we're going to get to know Mr. Jordan, Mr. JMANzlegit, Scow, whatever you want to call him.
Jordan Little, Jordy Scow, JMANzlegit.
Yes. I'm gonna let's see if we can get this trending, ladies and gentlemen. The Crater. We're gonna call him the Crater. That's it. And hashtag Go Ball Jordy. See, we can
that's never going to catch on, right? Because if you're the only one that's doing the hashtag and it's not following, then that movement of doing that hashtag has failed.
Oh, come on, people! Just even if you don't want to kiss my ass, just
like,
do it.
Even if you don't want to see me bald, like just do it for shake's sake.
Just
feed his ego.
Jordan. But anyway, my point is,
it's not really gonna piss me off.
Well, I know that. I'm just doing yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so we'll go with the basic questions first before we get into anything nitty gritty here, because I'm someone who is. By the way, in 2 weeks, I've also promised, due to his birthday week, I did promise David an interview, so that's why I'm stretching out the show for 3 hours on the final episode, because David, with how he is, how vain that motherfucker is, he will want, like, I don't know
very vain.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's gonna take his ass fucking get done. Now, okay, so Jordan, I guess the first question I would ask you is, when did you start YouTube? That's a good one.
Well, I'm gonna be strictly honest. When it came down to me with YouTube, I remember discovering it around in I'd say 2007, 8-ish. This was like during a time when I was still in the old house, and this was, not gonna lie, I mean, that was when YouTube was actually not very strict, as it were, nowadays, but back then I used to watch a lot of things, like that Super Mario like cartoons they used to have back in the day, like Super Mario Brothers Super Show, or The Adventures of Super Mario Brothers 3, or even Super Mario World, which is the only cartoon name they have, which is actually based off a video game with the same title.
I remember Racist Mario, but
probably... Well, no. I'm talking not the Flash animations. I'm talking about cartoons, like back in the day.
Oh, like the old school cartoons from back they upload on the channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I used to watch them. There was also, and funny enough, I got into, like plush videos thanks to, the whole mom. If there's a thing called Mama Luigi, that used to be a trend back in the day. I highly doubt it's going to be anything big, nowadays, because back then it was the shits, when it came to the, trends as they are now. But that's when I found, Mario 8099, which is, the channel for Cute Mario Brothers, which is a, they have this Mario looking statue action figure and a Luigi plush doll that you use for Mario Party, which is only exclusive in Japan at the time. And yeah, that's basically just two guys or two kids at the time, they were pretending to be Mario Brothers, with a camera doing their little puppet show thing. And then, of course, there were other channels that did that too. So right around in, I think in the late 2000s. I can't remember what time I started YouTube, but I do know that when I started to try and do YouTube around in the late 2000s, early 2010s, I mean, I pretty much did it for fun. I didn't show my face much because my mom didn't want me to get discovered by creeps on the internet. Like, I think the reason why was because, I think anyone can take advantage of a kid on YouTube or on the internet, which is probably a safe.
Yeah, that's right. When did you say you were on YouTube for the first time?
On the first time, I got to look back on my old channel and see when I started. I did have a couple of videos before I did plush videos of my own. Let me see.
Yeah, because I was gonna ask because if you were like underage, yeah, I could see that.
Oh yeah, I mean I was very young. Most of these stuff is like, wow, man, these are such a long time ago.
So was that like that kind of got you? So what was actually, like, this is a good question regarding that.
Okay, I first started YouTube. Wow, June 25th, 2009.
Oh yeah, so if you're a year younger than me, so if it was in 09, I was. So 2011 I was 17. So 2010, 16. So yeah, okay. So you're probably 14, 15, depending probably 14, I would say.
I had to have been 14 when I first started.
Yeah,
and yeah.
I didn't even get into YouTube until fucking maybe 2010. I did start doing, but we'll discuss more of that next week. But yeah, I didn't. Yeah, 2010 I think is when I first probably watched stuff, because even back then when I was watching videos like movie trailers, it was mainly through like Time Warner on demand. Back when it was Time Warner and not Spectrum.
And the last time I did I was on YouTube it was on August 19, 2013, and honestly, I think that's when I decided, like maybe I was done, like, because I didn't feel like, I was getting anywhere with my old channel, and I felt like, not a lot of people cared. And to be honest with you, I don't expect, part of me like was too hopeful, I think, because I felt like maybe I can get people to care. But the thing is, you can't get people to care just by doing, videos. You got to put in a lot of hard work and make it dedicated to get people interested, like in your life or whatever the case may be,
Ironically, I think I started in 2013. Like that's why my channel was created at that time. And then,
so by the time I left, you started. That's ironic,
I did like 3 or 4 videos, which have never seen the light of day after that. And then after that, plus I wasn't like, I didn't have all the capabilities. I was still very off the grid back then. I didn't have social media, or I did have social media, but I wasn't.
Yeah, I did too. I wasn't on the grid either.
I had a laptop, but I didn't have internet in my home. I had a phone, but I didn't have a phone where I had my music on it. Or I had where I go put music, but like me, I would record a video at home, and I would go like to McDonald's or something, grab something to eat, and upload it there. Go to a library, what have you. And at that time, because I don't think I was, this was like right when I was like 18, 19. So I wasn't really, like I didn't live on my own yet. So it wasn't like, even when, when I didn't really get proper internet again until like outside my phone. I didn't properly get internet again until 2017, 2018. And then 2017 was when I started. So literally I had a few videos, did them, done, and then I wasn't on there for 4 years, which we'll get into that more next week. But so when did the idea of rant and rave come up? Excellent. Like,
Well, okay. So basically, I think I told the story before, and sometimes it's the same story, but it kind of gets changed up a little bit, but it's still the same story. So I was watching, like a lot of, like most of the, before it was Bofas on the Sofas, it was actually Flicks with the Dicks. And don't ask me why. I mean, Gary, Mr. Garrison 96. I mean, that was the name of the show that he called it, and I thought, it's a funny name. I mean, for a show. I mean, you're talking about movies with a bunch of dicks on there, and by dicks I mean like guys like Gary or Romy, which is funny when you think about it.
They changed the name. Was it probably because YouTube was getting sensitive, or?
No, it was a lot of things. You'd have to ask Gary,
Sure.
But I would have to say what really got me into all this would have to be Pain and Gain. And then, Bofas was pretty much the spiritual successor of Pain and Gain. And I'm talking about the Pain and Gain podcast on LC Muscles 28's channel, which is Lucas, for those of you who don't know your history. And what got me wanting to do it was episode 60 of the Pain and Gain podcast. And I figured, you know what? Maybe we should do a podcast because everybody's doing podcasts.
And you knew Brandon prior to this, right?
Yeah, I met Brandon prior to that. We were in the same group. I believe it was Rodney's game show network, I believe.
Oh, okay. So that's how you all connected? That was going to be another question I had. Is how, like, you and Brandon met through that.
Yeah, and believe me, I think me and Brandon met around early 2019. And, and yeah, me and Brandon, we kind of, clicked right away because of our love for wrestling, and in fact, anybody who doesn't connect over wrestling, it, again, it just, shows that like, hey, not everybody can, have the same things that you like.
Good.
So yeah, when we started the podcast originally, I was going to make it a podcast basically all about the Monday Night Wars, talk about all the nitros and all that mostly, and then maybe somewhere down the line talk about Raw's War and all that. But here's the problem that I thought of when I was thinking about it. The whole thing that we had to do this like year by year, actually week by week doing the show, that's what the format would be, right? I realized that if we covered the shows week by week, including the pay-per-views, it would take us for about 5 to 6 years, just as it took the Monday Night Wars back then.
Well, yeah, look at what's going. Like, look at wrestling bios.
That and the thing is, that is basically what we could have went with. But however, I'm kind of glad he's doing it because he's showing what me and Brandon could have failed at. If because again, it was going to be just me and him talking about the Monday Night Wars. Or just basically Nitro. I mean, originally at the time, plans change when you're thinking of a show, of course, obviously. Yeah. But I realized that it would have taken us a long-ass time to cover everything regarding the Monday Night Wars. So I was thinking, you know what? Why not we do something better? I mean, we'll be just like, Flicks with the Dicks, only not, as them. We'll just do our own thing. We'll cover more wrestling, somewhat other entertainment media, movies, TV shows, somewhat, maybe some video games. And I was thinking because of, because of Pain and Gain, we can't take that name because that name's already been used. So I was thinking, what about Rant and Rave? Instead of and, you got N, and I was thinking, and that's when, the Rant and Rave podcast was born. Now, funny thing is, we weren't supposed to go on the air on the day of Hell in a Cell 2019. We were supposed to go on the air on the Thursday of that same week after Hell in a Cell 2019. But because of the aftermath and before that show with that whole Fox deal network, that Fox deal they used to have, that's what really, started it. They were all, Vince was so hyped up and wanted to get into that deal with Fox just to have that premiere. Brock Lesnar beating Kofi in less than 10 seconds, and then Cain Velasquez shows up. And then, you know what the dumbest part is? he hasn't booked any other matches until that day except for Becky Lynch and Seth Rollins' Hell in a Cell matches for their respective titles.
Which the Becky Lynch match with Sasha was really good. But
yeah, but the Fiend versus Seth Rollins, I mean, it was fine up until that ending, you know.
Oh no, you're good. You're good, Romanov. I appreciate you. It's been a minute. It's been. I think maybe you were in late now with the devil, but it's good to see you back on here. So welcome. Now, so okay, so.
I know what that means, and you're not really a nunce. I mean, like,
I'm just bullying nuts. Not she's not saying about herself. She's saying someone else.
Oh, someone else. Oh, okay. But folks, I don't have 20/20 vision.
Bear with me. I got my work cut out for me.
I'll have my work cut out next week too.
Oh yes, but okay. So all right. So let me ask you this, because this may be a two-parter, but I want to test it. So regarding Rant and Rave, what is, in your personal opinion, your favorite episode that you've done?
If I had to say episode 29, that would be obvious, because that's what
then my follow-up question was going to be what's your favorite episode outside of 29? Because that is, I've said this,
but
I've always meant no disrespect. That is the peak of that. Just like episode 50 was my peak on the old Outcast. That was the peak. I don't know if that will ever be topped. I hope it does, because I really want something that's not quote unquote drama. It was a great episode.
That's something outside of the past, as it were, to just be surpassed. You know.
Yeah, I want something that is like a genuine, like, fun love. But a lot of us don't even hit 1,000. Y'all have done it a few times with Rant and Rave or your reactions.
Oh yeah, but
do that. But go ahead.
But for my favorite episode, my mind changes a lot of which my favorite episode is from time to time. So if I'm like having a mental thing where like Alzheimer's or something, like, bear with me. But I feel like my favorite episode would have to be episode 200, because it was actually a memorable episode, because one, we got to, go live for a longevity of time. We got to cover a lot of things. I got to talk about some assholes who decide to record a dock fight rather than try and call the police and stop the damn thing from escalating. And a lot of people, were with me on the subject,
Was I with y'all? Was I back? Were we on good terms on 200 or no?
Hang on a second. Wait, 200. So if that was I think we were in good terms. Yeah, we were in good terms, because that was that was 2 years ago, because if memory serves me correct, it was around after you and me had made peace.
Okay,
and I think that was a few months after you and me made peace. So,
okay. All right.
And another thing that I loved about it was that taped interview we did the week prior, with Melina. And
wow.
I did, Eric Lima, he is a big fan of Melina Perez. And I told Brandon, when he told me that she was available, I said, let's not tell Eric or anybody. Let's keep this a secret, especially from him, because if he knows about it, then that will take away any chance of him, being surprised about it.
Yeah.
So plus, I wanted to see his shock over it. Not just the fans.
Shout out to Eric for his new show he's been doing now. Like, after when he was on his hiatus, but now he's back. He's still doing it even afterwards. His Renegade Shenanigans show. I've enjoyed it. Wish I was on more this past week, but shout out to him for doing that. I think because he didn't do a lot of live beforehand. Now he's doing live more. Go check out his channel. Go show him some love on. I think it's usually Tuesdays. Go check it out. It's
Yes,
time.
in the afternoon, I believe.
Sometimes you'll see Eric doing some random stuff. But yeah, and also shout out to Eric for holding his own last week on R&R when there was a lot of circumstances going around and all that other stuff. So yeah. Shout out to him. I made a joke about him taking over, and I saw the viewership, and I'm like, you know what? That show is kind of cursed. So I hate the only thing I hate.
And you kept your mouth shut afterwards, didn't you?
Well, not only that, but I hate now. That was the first I made a thumbnail. I'm mad because of that, because that was a fucking good logo. I actually like the logo I made this week too. If you're still watching, that photo I picked for you, so much better. I mean, no.
I might find a way to get a photo of Michael.
Audio.
Yeah, I might find one.
Well, actually, you know what? Keep it. I think it's funny that he's taking a picture with the Young Bucks in that picture. But
I might find a better one of him, and it doesn't even have to be a photo that he's put on there. But I'll find something. Trust me.
Yeah. Find somewhere I could do it where it's good, because
and it has nothing to do with him wearing headphones.
Yeah,
but anyway, with episode 200, it was also not just for Shock Valley, for everybody who was watching live at the time, but also mostly for Eric, because again, being a big fan of Molina that he is, I figured I wanted to do that just to surprise him. And based on his reaction, that was genius, and I know that was mean on my part to keep it from him, but then again, where's the fun if you can't see a reaction?
My phone, I'll be right back.
Okay. So, man, Solo Screen at its finest. But anyway, okay, so you switched to the smartphone or something?
Yes.
All right.
And that way I can just switch back and forth this and all that. It's actually quite useful.
Let me guess, you're taking a smoke break?
Yes. I have my studio now, and I can, and all that. It's great. It's fucking great.
If you're going to take a smoke break, just say it.
Oh, yeah. What's up, ATAX? Yes.
ATAX, yeah. Howdy, y'all. Giddy up. Yee-haw. Yee-haw.
Yeehaw.
What's that all meant?
I don't know. Maybe because I'm what inside Tarnation? Anyway.
Because you're from Texas. Okay.
Probably. But episode 200's a memorable one as well. And Eric's face. Now, okay, here's a good one. Because it's always nice to admit humility.
Oh, hold on. There's also another favorite one I like, and it's an emotional one. The one with Sabu. The tribute show for Sabu.
Yeah. No, that one. That is actually, I think, in my top 5 favorite episodes, because I thought y'all handled that tremendously. For me, probably in my top 3 favorite Outcast episodes, I'm counting the OG. I'll leave it blank, but it's a more recent episode of the Outcast that because not yes, there's been some memorable moments of the new era, but I will say though, there's really one episode I feel like has gotten the tops or in the top 3, but I'll leave that there. But for some humility, because to me, what makes a good host is to admit the good times and the bad times. So with that being said, what in your opinion, not the others, is your least favorite episode of R&R? It could be because of botches, it could be because of something happened, it could be just
favorite episode. And it's got something to do, and it's with me on there, right?
Oh, well, yeah, I would probably, I wouldn't say, I would feel like it would be unjust if you said an episode that you weren't on, because unless you didn't like something, something.
No, I trust Brandon knowing that the show will go on good no matter what. And that's the same for Eric after last week. But if I had to choose an episode that I did not like like in my personal opinion, well, one is when I did a rant on the trolls that were messing with us, but then again, that was a different time. Had to be there. I'd have to go with episode 10 because I think that was the one where we were trying to have an interview with somebody, but yet the person was having too much technical difficulties. He was using a smartphone while driving, while being interviewed, and I thought, in my personal opinion, I feel like that could have went a lot better than it should have. And of course, I think Brandon got his email. I think Danny got Brandon's email.
That's where that happened.
But it's not really that. I mean, it's a funny moment, like with the what, that kind of deal.
Yeah.
But the interview that we tried to have, I mean, dear God.
Well, and also y'all that was still in your early stages, so y'all were gonna have like mistakes and all that, because especially like again, like with me, I think that's when I started the Outcast, of course, as I've always told people, and I'll get more into it next week, but it was never, I had the idea of a podcast even before I met y'all.
Yeah.
Like, and even with StreamYard, I may have found, because I didn't even, this is how tone deaf I am about like new.
I discovered
trends.
StreamYard thanks to Mr. Garrison 96, Gary, because he did it on Flicks with Dicks, and then later both was on the sofas. I think we used StreamYard after episode 1. Like we started with episode 2 and then beyond. Episode 1, the pilot episode, I mean, that was the day of Hell in a Cell 2019, and Brandon was using YouTube Live, and I was on the other side of the phone, of like either Discord or Facebook Messenger or both. But
now another one I have actually, and this has more so to do overall with YouTube.
right.
In your opinion, name your top 3 best achieving moments on YouTube. It could be a milestone, a specific video, and this could be either a moment, and this could either be on your channel, the rant rave stuff, or anything that you've been a part of.
The milestone, I love top 3, you say?
Yeah, and also it could be like subscriber, viewership. It could be a plethora, just like anything that you consider your highest achievement moment currently on here.
Well, for number 3, and it's going to have to be related to David because it's on his channel. Because he's number 3, you know what I mean? I know he's probably watching saying, if you, Jordy, if you. If I had to go with one of my favorite, milestones, it would be the one with, oh, hey, Hank Nova. When I was on the popcorn panel, and I think I had just made my debut, as it were, and we reached over 600 views, and it was and I got to figure out which one was it? What movie that I started doing it on a weekly basis?
I can't, because I don't even know if I was watching it. Probably, I don't even know if you. David, if you're watching, fact check that for me.
Oh yeah, The Last Airbender.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, Last Airbender. It was Popcorn Panel Podcast, episode 16. The milestone we got was almost to 1,000, but it's actually 954 views right now.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but we beat them recently. I think now. I can't remember. I'm not saying that to stroke ego. I'm just like, I'm trying to remember, because I know there was it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. For some reason, that one.
No, you did that 2 months ago.
Yeah, that one did a lot. Like, that one did great in terms of viewership. I was actually shocked. That may be the one. It was something random.
Maybe it's because it's the 20th anniversary of that movie.
Yeah, fair.
And
so that's your number 3.
Yeah, because I made my debut on the popcorn panel. Now I mean, there's another one on there, Baby's Day Out, which was supposed to be Jared's swan song, but apparently he's still on the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know how that goes. Baby's day out. I'm surprised that, the way how Victor's reaction to it. I mean, like, come on, dude. But I prefer episode 16 being a milestone for me when I went on the show. Now, as for Rant and Rave, I mean, if I keep going with episode 29, I'm going to be feeding Romy's ego more than he eats a lot of chicken bucket at KFC. But
No fat jokes, Jordan. Quit fat shaming.
well, it's not fat shaming unless if it's a fact.
Well, I'll let that go. Okay, so not
another milestone that I consider number 2, episode 112 of the Rant and Rave podcast, which is the 3rd most viewed stream on Brandon's channel. But here's the thing. It's not just regarding the topic of that episode. It's about who was also on that episode that I also made peace with prior to you.
Who was that?
A good old buddy of mine known as Kevin Henry. Prior to, the Rant and Rave podcast, me and him, I'm not going to get into too much about, whoa, did you have to switch again? Oh, never mind then. I rest my case. But yeah, prior to the Rant and Rave podcast birth, let's just say, I'm not going to go into too much detail, but me and him got into a little, differences of opinion, as it were, and it was not pretty. And it was also due to other stuff, and I'm not going to go into detail as to why there was some heat between us. But nonetheless, 2 years, me and him, we actually made peace. This was when I was in the process of moving, I believe this is when you and me were still at odds against each other, which, again, that's something I think we'll have to talk about, next week, of course, because we'll have a lot to say regarding that, and also certain people, and I think she knows what I'm talking about if she's watching. Yeah, I know you're watching your ex-husband's stream.
What the fuck?
Oh man, if she turns off the smartphone and goes to her cousin saying, "Oh no, he knows I'm watching him. Oh no!" and like, yeah, keep crying me a river, bitch. Anyway, but yeah, the fact that it was the episode 100 episodes later after episode 12 when I used to have issues with him, even though I didn't mention him by name when I ranted about him, and also Alex Perez, by the way. Hope you're doing good, buddy. And yeah, that episode right there, and not only that, it also surpassed not Pain Game. Both Us on the Sofas on the same week in viewership. Oh, wow. And you could talk to Romy, and he even said that to me on the same week after we got done with the episode. Now, my number 1, for once, it has nothing to do with a live stream. It's actually the recent short that I uploaded onto my channel. And that is, I finally took a bump inside of an actual wrestling ring, and it's an actual 16x16 ring. Now, I'm not going to get too much into that, but I'm going to say something real quickly for the record. I want to publicly announce that tomorrow I'm not going to show up for R&R because this is what's going to happen. Next week,
I made the freaking logo. Now I got to remove you off of it, you son of a bitch.
Well, here's the thing. You don't have to do anything. I mean, just keep it on there because here's the thing. Because if I go on there, I'm just going to keep thinking about that topic. And so I don't want to accidentally, spill anything out. So next week on Rantiversary 6, I will make my return to Rant and Rave podcast, which is actually good. Plus, when you think about it, it kind of helps me have a clear conscience after Eric not having to be there for 4 weeks.
Yeah. Now are people going to be able to go on
for Rantiversary 6?
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Now,
every time
I don't know if Brandon's going to be on there, but if he is,
he told me he was, apparent from my understanding.
okay. Well, you don't have to worry about that, Hank Nova. I got full confidence in Eric, Michael, and William and Brandon, so they can cover.
Yeah, because I like it sucked because last week when they were down 2 people, I was like if I
actually no, that was 3 people.
They were down 3 people. Who else was missing?
It was me and Brandon. That was it.
Yeah, but you're down 2 people from the main thing. I would have offered to help, but it's funny because I was what do you call it? I was going to a concert this week. Same thing where I like because I would have messaged Brandon. Hey Brandon, I haven't been a temporary host in a while. You know, you're down a guy. I'll help out, but I got work event I gotta go to tomorrow as well. So like every time, but you know, I think I should be free next Thursday, so I will be able to pop in.
We'll see. We'll see. And by the way, I'll also have a special announcement for the second inductee of the Rant and Rave Hall of Fame, who will be joining Zach Garrix. Shaden, I'm gonna give you a spoiler alert. It's not you.
I know. I just wanted to be like that. Well, good.
But
I don't want to be a part of your stupid Hall of Shame, anyways.
If you be good, I'll probably give you a spot next year because I'll be having multiple members of the Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah. So
besides, you'll probably understand why the second inductee can be a lot more important than having putting you on there. Just trust me.
Oh yeah. I don't.
You're gonna when you find out who it is, you'll understand why.
Yeah, it's like with the Hangman, my thing, right? I
actually thought you did pretty good, Hank. I thought it was pretty good.
I did like when I was thinking about it, I was thinking who makes the most sense, not only for the show, not for just for the Hangman Outcast, but in general. Who was the one person outside of myself who put the name, the brand, the show, and everything on the map? And I thought about it for a while, and I said to myself, there's no one else but Dragon. Because Dragon, it was a thing that caught wind.
Yeah, it was funny. It was funny, Hank. I'm giving you your props.
Like it's still to this day still a thing. And that's what I'm saying. That's the one thing about like that. Like, yes, Tom did a lot of help on the channel. You've done good stuff on the channel. Dan has helped a lot. Dan helped me kind of get my confidence back in regards to making content. You know, it was just like there are other like there's gonna be a lot like again like hell if we talk about participation in regards to the Outcast since its revival, like if I did a Hall of Fame just for participation of the last 11 episodes, even though we don't have a StreamYard link for this episode, fucking Nick and Fonte, because Nick has been on almost every episode that the link has been out there. So like Nick would be one that would.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah. But
here's another quote for you. Why don't you shove that newbie up your ass? Like, come on.
But so we're gonna get into some more personal details. Not nothing too, but I like because this is about the we like to ask some of the safe questions, and also I'm someone who likes to ask tough questions. So I got
all right, Piper.
And by the way, people, like originally I was gonna have a list of questions, but I just came up with these on the fly. So all these questions I've asked have been on the fly questions. Also, just to kind of show that in terms of interviewing style, right? If I ever do interviews later on regarding the Outcasts, my interview style is more off the cuff, more laid back. But so you're a man of faith.
Yes.
So
hold on. What are your views on black people?
Well, in terms of black women, I've not really had any great sexual experiences with them. Oh yeah, I saw that, Roman. I'll probably check it out, like, and all that. But
Hank
like,
caught me off guard with that one.
like in terms of women, I've had like one experience with one full black woman, and she wasn't really that good. The only ones I've really had great experience with were ones that were mixed, half black, half Latina. But usually my tastes are in Latinas. But so my point is regarding all this is that, has there ever been a point in your life where your faith has been challenged?
Yeah, many times. It has many times, being a born again Christian, like it is, I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, like, I mean, when you're having your faith challenged, almost every day, I mean, let's face it. I mean, not if you were to talk to anybody who says that their faith has been challenged and they said no, that's a lie. Because you have to understand, not everybody is going to live a simple, easy life even after you've accepted Christ as your Lord and Savior. I mean, when you think about it, there's a lot of, problems that go on in real life that meets the eye. I mean, like, for example, like whenever I was moving, I felt like, are we ever going to move into this house, that the one I'm moving in right now, because I didn't think we'd ever get that, that go ahead, but because my dad, he was like, in tears one time, when he thought we were never going to get out from behind the church that we were at, temporarily before we had to move into the new house, and, sometimes, faith can be tested in a lot of ways, and he never gave up on God, but sometimes, your faith can be tested in many ways that you never really expected. And this was like when I still even though I hate having to say it, even though, again, hate is a strong word, that I still hated your guts, and yet it wasn't because of you mocking my faith or anything like that. It was just that, of what's gone on. But yet I still feel like that's the one thing that I despise, that I hated having to hate someone because of, not for hating what I believe in, but for what had transpired. That was the one thing that I have regrets of, and that's what tested my faith as well. So anybody who says that they never have their faith tested, and challenged, they're lying. I've had it tested many, many times, and I still go on strong.
As a former Catholic myself, and I know Nova brought this up too, but as a former Catholic myself, I had plenty of times where my faith was. Now, granted, I went on a different path, and all that stuff, which we'll probably get into that also next week. And yeah, it was funny because with me, because I always laugh when people think I don't know anything about religion. So when for example, when me and Joe were going at it, and I would bring up the fact that hate is not a form, is not the way of the Lord, and
no, it is not.
It was funny because I'm sure there are some people saying, "How's these?" But that was like something that was like, again, the mind games, right? Like get behind the mask, if you will, the method to the madness.
Well, the way how you did, I mean, it's hard not to say that I hated it. But the thing is, the fact that I hated you in general, that's a thing that I regret,
Yeah.
That's on both of us.
Me saying that, but saying that now is like, it was just because I always was somebody. Even before I even met you, I was somebody. Once I became atheist, I made it not a mission, but I made it a statement to call out the flaws of certain religions, not just Christianity. Although Christianity was something I had, because again, I was Catholic. I rarely ever disrespected Catholicism, even as I've been if anything, I've just disrespected the Lord's name which could be in the Catholicism aspect of disrespecting it. But like in terms of directly saying it, I don't go with the stereotypes about Catholicism with the priests and all that other shit. My priest was fucking, to me and all that stuff. My point is regarding that is that like, and really to be fair, my issue really as I've gotten older is not with the Christian faith as a whole. It's more so the organized aspect of it. And also the organized. I had this talk last night actually with Sloppy. I was talking about I do not want somebody to another human, whether they follow the word of God or not, to judge me on my things, tell me I'm going to be condemned to the eternal damnation of hell, because that is not their decision to make.
Hey, Chayton, you're going to hell.
But see, that's what I'm saying.
I'm just being funny. I'm just being funny. I'm not trying to be a dick. Okay.
I booked my ticket already. I got my sunscreen and I'm ready to go.
Hey, hey, look, you never know. I mean, people change, like.
But like I'm
not saying that you will never change. I mean, if you ever want to get back into it, I mean, that's your choice, man. I'm not going to force you. I just know that when it comes down to me, I mean, I know that no matter what, I'll always have memories, and good, bad, or indifferent, whether the person, whether this person or that person goes to the afterlife on through the pearly gates or through the sharp razor blades. But that's just
and that's the other thing too, is that like you and I, we have different ideologies, we have different viewpoints. We have similar viewpoints of some things, but we have different ideologies, different viewpoints of certain things. We have different religions, right?
I think that's the only thing we have. Everything else we have a lot in common with.
Well, I'm the smoker. I'm the fucking.
Yeah. What I'm talking about is like real life aspect. I'm not talking about.
Oh yeah. We're similar, but we're very different at the same time.
Yeah.
I would say, and I like that we're not cookie cutters, similar to one another, and all that. Like hell, I went to the Satanic Temple of San Antonio this past Sunday, actually, ironically enough. And it was funny because I had a completely different thought of what it was going to be. And it was like, it was a very, and it wasn't just like, oh yeah, we go in there and say, hail Satan, that fucking, all that shit. We don't take a blade and fucking cut a goat. My ex-girlfriend would have fucking called them posers, if I'm being perfectly honest with you. But my point is, though, is that, and it wasn't just people who were like Satanists, it was people who were atheists. So it was funny because I finally felt like I found my community because and all that. Granted, it wasn't my idea to go. My woman wanted to go, and I was like, fuck it. Let me get off work early. Let's go. She had to follow this past Friday because she'll tell you she's a fucking klutz sometimes. So it was funny. I kept telling her, rest. And she fucking went out and all. Well, anyway. So, yeah. So and there's nothing wrong with that with having that, right? I don't look at Jordan again, same thing if I don't look David. I've told David, even when I've given him advice on things, I've told him, I don't want you to be like me. I'm not, I've told people, I am not the role model to follow, ladies and gentlemen, because I am a very flawed individual, and you know what? I'm fucking good with that. But it's just I like that we're all different in a lot of ways in everything. And, it makes the dynamic funnier because, like I said, when I go in there and troll Eric about sex, it's hilarious because yeah.
You know what he sounds like when he does that? He's like Popeye the Sailor doing his laugh,
So you mentioned about being born again. So when was it that you became born again?
That's a good question. When I was a little kid, I think I was around I think I was 7 or 8 years old. I can't remember what time it was. I know I was a little kid. I watched this DVD with my parents about, about the whole thing regarding, like stories, like one of the more popular ones, which had artwork of all these, stories from the Bible. And I think my dad would have to explain what it was, but it was actually a pretty good DVD. And it helped, help me give myself, to Christ, because again, I didn't, again, I wanted to, oh, look at the cute little puppy.
She needs to go out, but you got to hold on. You got to hold on. Anyway.
Yeah, we only got like 15 more minutes left, so it's
so
okay.
yeah, so like
yeah,
okay.
I gave myself to Christ on that night. I got baptized about maybe the same week or a week later, and yeah, it was. I have no regrets,
So okay, so here's another good one, and this could be a double one because it could be with YouTube and life. What are your in YouTube? We'll go with that one first. What is the 3 things you still want to achieve on YouTube? No particular order, just random things.
3 things. Well, one of those 3 things is to try to reach 100,000 subscribers, which is a very hard thing to do with it. Okay, you know what? What that dog is doing right now is exactly what Missy would do with me. Or even Clara.
That's what you get. Laying on my knee when you hit me in the nuts. That's what you get. So yeah, so reach 100,000, okay.
100,000 and try to get noticed in some cases, like for my hard work for what I've tried to do, whether it's doing streams or gaming streams. Or even this, what I'm going to do, like the moment I break into wrestling, I'm going to share my very first match. And, so that way I can, showcase to people that doubted me, like not as a way of saying F you to them, but to say thank you for motivating me for the negativity instead of, because again, the negativity can be a good motivational drive for me. And the third thing, well, to simply just have a great community full of people that, whether or not they share my same beliefs or ideology, I just want people to get together and and watch me and appreciate the hard work I'm going to give out. And regardless of what they have, as long as they are pleasant and decent with the phrase I've been saying. Common courtesy, common decency, and common sense, then it's good. To just have everybody in this community that I have to be like that watches my content to have a good time.
See, Hank, before I get in the next question, see, Hank, I don't like, again, it's maybe because I'm atheist. I don't have a problem with any religious jokes because I always say it like this. If you could joke about the devil, it's same thing if you joke about
it's kind of funny. I don't think I've ever joked about Satan or the devil, unless if I have, I must not remember or anything.
Like
I know you're talking to Hank. I'm just simply pointing. Yeah. I'm just trying to remember. I'm trying to see if I remember if I ever did that or not.
South Park, I know does and all, but I don't.
Oh my God, South Park!
Like I always look at this. It's like if you are a leftist and you joke about the right has every opportunity to make a joke about you. So I look at it this way. I've joked about God a lot of times. I've done segments where I've done that. And really, it's never like maybe back when me and Jordan had issues, sometimes I would be directed towards him. But a lot of times I always tell people, I'm someone who has a very dark sense of humor. And, I don't really.
I do too, but I don't joke about God or the devil. I just simply try to do what I can.
I always say I joke about, and I always tell people, don't mean like it's like what happened a few weeks ago. Just if I'm joking about that doesn't mean I'm personally attacking you. If you feel personally attacked, that's your problem, not mine. That's just because I'm not attacking you directly. I always think if it's like people who like wrestling, right? And people joke about wrestling, right? There are people where I look at them and I am ashamed to say I'm a wrestling fan because there are people like certain people around that fucking make it look like we're fucking dweebs. But
that is true.
or even being a conservative or having conservative views, somewhat so on and so forth. Now, here's another one. What is your, well, probably we'll say two because one is already, I'm sure the wrestling thing would be in there. What is your two goals you want to achieve in life?
Well, to make sure that I'm secured both financially and whatnot, and to make sure that my parents, along with my sister, are taken care of, Like, that's the only two things that really matter. I mean, sure, I do love my friends, real life and online. And yes, Hanji, I kind of love you too, even though you're doing my job beating the shit out of Shaitan.
Well, yeah. Like I've always said, your family is the most important thing over everything, and that's no offense to anyone. Like I've always said, like my mother, my daughter, my fucking Hanji, my woman. We're like those are always going to be the number one things for me. YouTube and friendship is always going to be second, third, what have you. And that's no offense. I feel like I would.
Oh no, I understand that because again, like, when it comes down to it, I kind of look at some people like family, and whether it's online or offline. But at the end of the day, when it comes to your immediate family, that's the one thing you gotta take care of. Not a lot of people have great relationships they have with their parents or their other family relatives, because life isn't perfect. But at the same time, immediate family is still family, and it's still important regardless,
Here's a good one also, a dark one. What are the three things you fear? And it doesn't have to be phobias, just maybe like things you fear that you don't want to happen.
Three, okay. Oh no, you're good, Hank. You're good. So three things that I fear. An infestation inside my own house. 2, the internet no longer working, which I will never have any way to contact with you guys, even though there probably is the 5G or whatever, or LTE bullshit. But yet I'll still drive myself crazy because, like, look at last year after, Hurricane Helene happened, I think it was. Yeah. I think it was either Helene or Katrine. I don't know. And then, of course, there is number 3. My biggest fear is probably when, like, if wrestling becomes canceled, like, all of it. Like the sports entertainment genre we all love was all of it totally canceled by cancel culture, Me Too, and all the other bullshittery that tries to take it down.
It's funny. I talked about us having different ideologies. My fears are going, like, if you ask me the same question next week, it's going to be a lot different than yours. I sympathize with those. I'm not saying, but yeah, mine are, and some of them were kind of morbid.
Here's the thing. One of my, none of the fears that I had nothing to do with sexuality or preferences. Oh, yeah. To me, it's most likely a me thing rather than my biggest fear is this generation. Okay, that's a good fear to have. But yeah, as far as I'm concerned, but when it comes down to fears, it's around me mostly, not what's going on in the real world. Now, wrestling is part of the real world, but when you think about it, it's an important aspect to have in your life. It used to be important during the Attitude Era. A lot of people watched it.
I'll give one free fear for me. I said this yesterday on Sloppy Show. I've also talked about this in previous streams. I've said my fear, funny enough, is if my belief is the accurate. Because I've always said that, being an atheist, you don't believe in heaven nor hell. You believe in nothing, basically. And I always say that the one thing that does terrify me is if I'm correct in that belief. Because if like what like if we fucking die, when we die, not if, when we die, do we just rot away in the box for all of eternity and nothing else comes of it? We don't become apparitions, we don't become fucking demons, we don't become angels, what have you. That is the one thing that probably my biggest fear is, because that, even though again it's my belief, so I picked that belief, I chose that belief, but it is frightening to know that if that is the correct like outlook, and we won't know till we're in the box, but none unless we can become an apparition, nobody will be able to tell the other person, hey, I'm in the fiery pits of hell, hey, I'm in heaven, all that stuff. Like unless we could do that, that is my biggest fear, is the fear, if I'm correct. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I like being atheist, because I like to be, I like to have something scare me nowadays, because a lot of shit doesn't anymore. But yeah, that's probably my number one for myself.
Yeah.
To get into a more spiritual aspect of it. Now, let's see. We got a few more minutes, so let's see. I'm trying to think of something else.
We got like 3 more minutes left.
Yes, yes. Okay, here's a good one. This is going back to you to enlighten the mood a little bit. Who were the 3 people that inspired you? And this could be any period. It doesn't have to be when you started. It could be even as currently as now. But just a generalization. Who are the top 3 YouTubers that, and it could be people you know, people you don't know, so on and so forth.
I'll 2 of them are obviously plush related. It's Mario 899. The second one, well, he's not doing plush videos anymore because he's been canceled by Nintendo. Super Mario Logan, but I have to give him credit, because if I don't, then I'm lying to myself. And also the third one, Rich Alvarez, or Richard Michael Alvarez. Basically he did a project called Stupid Mario Brothers, and it was like a fan live action series, which it was supposed to be a one-time thing, and then it turned into something big, like after that. And then, yeah, he was able to get 100,000 subs after hard work of getting that show on the map. And also a movie, an interactive adventure, a special, and even a spin-off series too, which is pretty cool.
One thing I was surprised was that you had people that were not people you knew, in that sense, compared to like Romy or whoever. Because I was gonna say, like, mine, even to start, were
well. The thing is, when it comes to that motivated me to get into YouTube, that's the 3.
What were people more so nowadays that inspire you? Maybe in the last 5, like since maybe the rant and rave days.
Well, I'd have to say, one of them being, Brandon, because without him, I don't think we would have Rant and Rave podcast. I'd say Romy, because if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have thought of doing a show like that, because he's done Pain and Gain, he's done, Flicks with the Dicks, he's been doing Bobos on the Sofas. And the third and final one, I'd have to say you, because you give me this kind of motivation where I want to be the best, and that's why you want to be the best at what you're at. So that's why, that's what I'm thinking, You give me inspiration to want to bring out my A game rather than be, less. Does that make sense?
Yeah, like it's like, because like, for example, like,
and I'm not doing that to satisfy your ego or kiss your ass.
No, it's funny. I wasn't expecting me in there, believe it or not. Not because just because I would think that would be, because I would feel like, because I do feel like, and this no disrespect to anybody else, but maybe outside of Jerome, I don't really like. I'm probably the only other one that I feel that's consistently fucking like tries to get a certain part of you out more, and that's like a good thing, not like a bad thing, but like, and no offense to everybody else, but some people are just like, wheels in motion, they just do their own thing and all that. And I always say, so that's like what I do with David. I antagonize him sometimes to get him to fuck it, because he has that character. Eric has that character to where like it's like he just needs that little push into that vein. But yeah, so we could probably do this all night long, but we agreed to 90 minutes. 2 is late, so we're going to end it here. We're going to be back next week, same time, 10 p.m. Central. Then we'll be back to.
I really did enjoy this.
Yeah.
By the way, people, like I said, tomorrow I am going to be taking another night off, and hang on a second. I'm going to take another night off of Rant and Rave, so that way it'll be a full completion of, to make up for Eric for putting on a sabbatical from not being on ONR for 4 weeks. But however, next week I will be back here again, but this time the tables are going to be turned. I'll be asking Chayton the questions, and when you think you know all the answers, I will change the questions.
Well, and I've told him keep like no holds barred. I want to. Because like David.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you questions that are probably gonna hit home, and some people are probably gonna think, "Man, this is too much." But then again, hey,
I don't give a fuck.
No. I'm not gonna do this just for satisfaction. I want to do this just to do it like a shoot interview, like as like what's happened on the other side of the fence when we were at odds. You know what I mean?
I told Jordan, like, because we discussed doing interviews for a while.
Yeah.
Interviewing each other.
Give me a second. I'll be right back before we do the closer.
And who knows? Maybe we'll do a part 2 to each interview next season. Because I feel like there's a lot more we can do off of that. Maybe we'll do that as like a special every so often. Maybe or just in general, because like I said, we're going to do me like next week. David, we'll probably do David like solo for a little, like me, Jordan, David, on the last week, and then after that we'll probably bring people on. I got to talk to David regarding all that. So yeah, now, but yeah. So I like David did a good job interviewing me, but I do feel like David would. Well, we're not going to probably, like, since we're only got 3 more episodes, you know what? We could probably do yours as one of the first few episodes of the show. Because actually, Nova, there would be some questions I would like to ask you. That would be very interesting. So probably when we come back in May, I could probably do that. And I do want to start doing interviews on this show going forward. I already have a few people in mind. Not just on here, but just in general, just to give the show a little more, because again, I want to try to pave this show in a different direction than what it started as and all that. Like, I know that this episode is not going to be the most viewed episode because, well, we're on late. 2, it's not like drama based. It is what it is. I'm fine.
I'm back.
So yeah. But yeah, like no, but we could do something probably in when we come back in May.
Now, one more thing I want to point out is that not only will I be back next week for the interview, I'll also be back on Rant and Rave next week for Ranniversary.
Yeah.
So that way I can tell the infamous topic of my experience in the ring in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, at Hulk Hogan's Wrestling Shop.
Next week will be that, and then following week will be the season finale of the Hangman Outcast.
Yeah.
So that will go back to our 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. That will go for most likely 3 hours. I've told Jordan he has I would like for him to stay for that whole thing because that's going to be the final episode for a while. But if he has to do something, that's okay.
I mean, hey, I'll stay on for 2 hours, but after
that's fair. That's fair.
Because again, that's the agreement we went with.
Yeah,
It's like this, Shane. It's like this. We had a damn deal, and now you motherfucker, I'm changing the deal. Pray I don't change it any further.
Yeah, I'm altering the deal. Pray I don't alter it any further. But like I said, we'll like, as long as we do the David interview together, which I'm going to talk to David probably sometime this week to try to get an idea when he wants to do it. So we'll figure that out. Again, that'll all be worked out then. I will be bringing back AI calls for that episode. It's been a long time. I know people have been asking me when's AI calls coming back. I'll bring it back for chapter 13. And we'll do that. We'll do fucking other shit. We'll have a good time with it. But yeah, I appreciate everybody for watching. I appreciate me. Shout everybody in the chat real quick. Oh, I'm getting old. Don't fucking do backyard at a young age and think you're gonna be okay after a while. Your fucking back's gonna be fucked.
To be honest with you, if you think that's rough, you should really think about going in the 16x16 ring.
Jordan, I've done an actual ring. Well, even harder than a fucking ring. I've landed on back first on the bare concrete. Trust me, I know what pain feels like. I've got this scar on my elbow. Is it this one? Yes, from a fucking piece, like some fucking non-gimmick glass. Anyway,
real glass, cry me a river.
I was the original Jack Perry. See, Vic Infante, True Anonymous, Mr. Beauregard, Motion Zombie, William the Conqueror, Dragon. Let's see what else. And Dragon, yeah, I'm gonna have to talk to you. So make sure you can be on whenever, because again, we'll try to do it. We're going to do it in 2 weeks. See, I already said Motion Zombie Romanoff. I know she was in here. ATAX, Nova, of course, and I think that was it. Everybody in here, yeah. So I appreciate everybody for watching. And we will be back next week, same time as this week, and then we'll be back for the final episode. There will be, outside of possible game streams, although I really don't know if I'm going to continue doing game streams, if I'm being honest. Or like shorts have been my bread and butter as of late. But
I'll still do game streams if you're not going to do it.
Well, I like doing them, but again, I don't have time sometimes. But there is going to be one more live stream at the end of the month. It doesn't have anything to do with this, but Late Night with the Devil, we're going. I do have some stuff I wanted to talk about that coming up for Late Night with the Devil, because that is also going to go through some restructuring, not a lot, but I'll go into that more further detail later. But yeah, with that, guys, thank y'all for watching, and now I can actually use this outro that I made as well, same outro. But yes, so make sure you subscribe to, of course, myself, Network 3000, JMANzlegit, and of course the Brandon Martin for the Rant and Rave podcast, where you can get all your Rant and Rave fix and all that good stuff. So until then, like, share, comment, all that good shit. Be well, stay safe. That's an old line I used to use. Have yourselves an awesome night, and we will see you next week. And until then, top for now, ladies and gentlemen.
Later.
Peace.